Hey guys, welcome back. Prado 150 out of here. Just want to cover a few things today. As you can see, look what I've got. Got my walls for the BUSHWAKKA awning that I've got, the 270 awning. So I've got a few options on where to put these, and also Dennis, he's got me some poles as well. So I'll show you where I'm going to put them. So as you put the awning up at the moment, just in my front yard, just how it would normally be, but when I've been camping. So I'm going to pop these awnings on and show you what it looks like. Now guys, just wanted to cover a few things today. Hope that wind's not too bad. It's pretty windy out here. So those of you guys that have a Prado, in particular the Prado 150, because that's what I've got, one of the topics is the temperature gauge on the Prado 150. So that's what I've got, obviously. I just want to make a point of saying how important a SCAN gauge is. So they plug into the the computer port underneath your dashboard there. So I've got one. Look, mine's not anything fancy. I bought mine from King's, and in saying that, it is working a treat. I don't have any dramas with it. Reason why you need one, so this is very important. Reason why you need one is that the temperature gauge in the Prado is, let me say, it's not all that crash hot, or it's not accurate, because it doesn't tell you when things are about to go wrong. It tells you when they're wrong, when that temperature gauge is sky high and way past the halfway point. So I'll give you an example. So, well guys, Mike here, Prado 150 out of here. It's just clicked over the 41 degrees on the gauge here. We're just in the back of SCAN Crow's Nest, just going up a road just out for a bit of a country drive with Shelley. The vehicle temperature, I'm going up and down hills at the moment, so we're sitting on about 95 ECT, which is quite outstanding really for the Prado. 41 degrees outside. So the other day I was driving with Shelley. We went down to Esk to have a bit of lunch and that down there, you know, a bit of a country drive in the Lockyer Valley. And then from Esk we went up to Crow's Nest. So we went the shortcut way, or if you call it a shortcut way, that went from Esk to Crow's Nest. It was a 50-50 bitumen dirt road, windy, up and down hills all over the place. Outside temperature 41 degrees. So I was keeping an eye on my gauges and everything, and in particular I was interested in how the lithium battery was performing. Just wanted to talk about the ITECH World Battery that I've got under the bonnet. So it's certainly getting a test out today, so she's working fine. Still sitting on 13.3 degrees, 13.3 volts. Not an issue. Absolutely performing outstanding under the bonnet. So we've got the ITECH World Lithium 120X battery sitting under the bonnet here, 41 degree heat, and the vehicle temperature, I'm going up and down hills at the moment, so we're sitting on about 95. Now what happened was, I was looking at the temperature, the ECT on the gauge, and you know, it was all over the place really. It was like 95 to 100, 98, all over the place. And then at one point I looked down, it was 104, and I was going up a reasonably steep incline, and it went to 106. Now 106 is not good, certainly not for any length of time anyway. And what I did notice is that up until that point, so at 105, temperature gauge was on halfway, exactly halfway. So if you didn't have that SCAN gauge, you wouldn't know what was going on with the engine temperature. 106, that temperature gauge started moving. So it started rocking towards the 3/4 mark, but not quite. It was like halfway between the half and the 3/4 mark. So I backed off, like way backed off. And I kept going, but I just backed off. When I backed off, things went down, and the temperature gauge of course returned to the halfway point, even though the actual temperature of the coolant was at 100. Now the issue with that is, if I did have a problem, and I didn't have that scan gauge, I'd be driving along and I wouldn't know, I'll be none the wiser, thinking my temperature gauge is perfect, sitting on halfway, cruising around in the country, 41 degrees, you know, keeping the power on, you know, maybe looking, maybe not looking at the temperature gauge, and it doesn't start telling me anything until after 106 or 106. In my viewpoint, 106 is it's not detrimental, but it could be on its way. So make sure you get one. Now since then, I've done a few checks. So I things that can go wrong or increase your temperature are you know, dirty radiators. So you know, mud and gunk in the, you know, in between all the fins of the radiator. Viscous fan not working, coolant, you know, you might not have enough coolant in the water bottle. Your radiator might need replacing, might be getting too old. Generally the water pump probably not so much, that would be more if it was leaking. Okay, so the checks I did was, I've got a brand new radiator, it's got brand new coolant. The viscous fan, how to check your viscous fan. Now, I'll just say I'm not a mechanic, but this is how you check it. So you check to see, firstly, you move it around with the engine off, of course. See if it's got a bit of resistance. It should have some resistance. It shouldn't just be able to, you know, spin it. The other thing is that you need to check is when it's running and the engine's hot, that the fan's going at you can hear it going. It's going at a good speed. When you turn the engine off, the fan should stop straight away. It shouldn't just keep spinning. Okay, it should come pretty much to a complete stop straight away. That's just the basic check of your viscous fan. So I did all that, and as far as I was concerned, it's working fine. So I know I've been through a bit of mud recently, or in the last month at least anyway, and I haven't really cleaned that part of the engine slack of me. So what I did was I got the gurney out and I gave it a good clean up, and I sprayed not too much to wreck the fins, but just sprayed enough through the intercooler and all that area in there, particularly down the bottom, and just got out all the gunk. So for a while there, yeah, when it was dripping, she was pretty muddy. So since doing that, I haven't really done anything extreme like that on a 41 degree day since, but since just, you know, doing trips around town and that, I think it's improved it. So if that didn't improve it, I'm really not sure what else there would be, other than maybe there's a few extra things on top of the bull bar that's stopping the airflow. But you know, yeah, I don't think that is the case. So guys, the other thing I just wanted to touch on too, while I was driving in the country, having a leisurely drive in the country, I was just checking a few things, and I was interested to see how the lithium battery went. So you've got 41 degrees outside, got the lithium battery under bonnet, so that's the 120X from ITECH World, and I've got to say that it was performing a treat. It was just absolutely no issues. I don't have a shunt at the moment. Actually, I've got one, but I haven't put it in. I've just bought one. So the voltage was reading at 13.3 without any dramas at all, and I can't fault it. Like, they guarantee it under the bonnet. It does have its own battery management system. It doesn't have any Bluetooth attached to it. So if it thinks that things are a bit too hot or not going too well, it will shut it down. There was no issues with it at all. I mean, I've got nothing else to say really about it. I'm very impressed. So with these products that you probably see me using a bit, and just you know, talking about them, these are products that I'm using when I go camping on a regular basis. So the lithium has just changed the game for me, particularly this battery. It was easy to put it under the bonnet, chuck it under, replace where the other one was. It runs the fridge, it runs all my, you know, charging stuff at the back there. it's just upped the game basically for camping, made life a little bit easier. This awning is just absolutely unreal. I mean, I can't say enough about it. It is just absolutely unreal, and yeah, so I'm going to put these walls on and see how that goes. Yeah, it just makes camping, especially when you're solo and in a swag, it's just making it so much more easier. And if you've seen, particularly my last videos going through the old Grafton Road, I mean, it probably rained, what, 80% of the time. Did I get wet unless I walked out of the awning area? No. And I think by putting the walls up, it's just going to give that extra protection, not only from the rain, but you know, from the sun as well, and the elements. And on a day like today, where I'm in my front yard, but it's still blowing a gale. So yeah, and you know, I've got discount codes for both of those things, and I will leave them up for you. So I'm going to whack these walls on and see what she looks like, eh? Tiny sign from next door. Got the experts onto it. Got Shelley here. She's going to give us a hand. So I reckon this one goes, you got there.
Yeah, because
Right way, so what do you reckon? I think it goes the other way.
it's either or this goes all the way. Are they both the same wall?
Yeah. Reckon that goes like that? Well guys, you're getting this raw video. We haven't practiced, it's just going straight up. There's some wind blowing, so we're working it out as we go. I'm going to put the other wall up because I'm going to join it to this one. So I'm going to join this wall to that wall, and then we're going to peg it down and see how we go. Alright, so cross the fingers, eh? Alright, so I'll just join these walls together, eh? Start by putting them up. How's that rope going? Is that on the
Yeah, it's on the outside.
Alright.
You need to fix up the... Oh, yeah.
Where's that?
Up here. You need to line it up a bit better. Yeah, that's better.
Alright, I'll put some pegs in, eh? Sorry, I don't film you.
That's right.
What do you reckon about this peg? Ah, well guys, we said we'd do it from raw, from the opening the box to putting it together. So you're getting it all, raw videos here. So anyway, this is a excellent couple of walls here, plenty of room inside. So we've just got a little issue. I'll just have to move my car over. So yeah, we need more room. We've got the concrete there, so Shelley's doing a good job there holding it in place. But look at that, hey, that's perfect. So we are going to show you I'm going to move the car over.
If anyone wants any grips, give us a yell, mate.
Oh yeah. So there we go, the Bushwhacker awning. Look at that, eh? So tomorrow, we've got a bit more light. We're going to just move the car slightly over and peg this bad boy down. But look at all that, eh? That's just going to be absolutely perfect for camping. Well guys, it's the next morning. I've had a couple of goes at seeing how this fits me the best. So I think I've mastered it. So you're looking at, I've got two walls on the Bushwhacker 270 Awning from Bullies Off-Road and Adventure, and those guys are in Toowoomba. So I've just had a bit of a few different ways of doing this, so I think I've mastered it. So I've got one wall here, one wall here. So I think if I had all the walls, so I've got to get another two walls. This would be absolutely perfect, especially in the weather that you would have seen in my last video. Alright, so here I am, standing underneath the BUSHWAKKA 270-degree awning. What a massive difference. I've just got this set up in my front yard. I just got these walls only yesterday, in fact, from Dennis at Bullies Off-Road and Adventure. So I went and got 2 extra poles and 2 walls at this stage. So just got them up now, and I'm just in my front yard. I just wanted to test them out, put it together, and I thought I might as well show you guys while I'm putting it together. So some of this is just absolutely raw, first time setting it up. So look, if someone like me can work it out and get it set up, you guys can do it too. So it's a piece of cake. So this is, yeah, I think it's absolutely awesome. So right here will be my swag. So in effect, what it's doing, it's giving me some more room. So I'm able to put my swag over here in this corner. So what it does is it just gives me more room, especially if it's raining. So what I've decided is I've got this back one here. So if it's a horrible day or you're wanting a bit of shelter, so that's going to protect. That's where I cook, on the back of the Prado there on that table. So it's going to protect me from that. It's going to give me some room as well. It gives me more room, protected room, so I can, you know, have my swag over here more, and I've got room to, you know, put a chair down. I don't have to be worrying about, you know, being too close to the edge here and the rain's going to come in and get me. Today is actually a beautiful day. It's going to get a bit hotter, so even in the sun, it's going to give you this little, you know, this little shady, full-on shady spot to be protected from the elements. A bourbon or a beer. So I think it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect for someone that is using your car and a swag or however you do it. So good on your BUSHWAKKA. I think this is an amazing, easy to set up, strong. I've already tested the awning in the weather, and this just makes it complete. I mean, imagine if I was in all that rain on my recent camping trip at on the old Grafton Road, and I had these. I mean, the water would just come out, run down the sides. I've got more room for, you know, more usable space, and the rain can just go for it on the outside, and me and all my stuff is going to be dry. I can cook, and I'm going to be dry from the elements. What can I say? Perfect. Well guys, thanks for watching. This brings this episode to an end. Now I hope I've helped you out a little bit. I'm just going to recap. So number one of the things we talked about was make sure you get that scan gauge so you know exactly what your Prado temperature is, so your ECT, very important. Like I said before, once it goes to 106, that's when the temperature gauge starts moving. So, you know, you're really into it's too late territory then. So pick one up. There's many out there on the market. The one I've got is a King's one. I've had that for probably a couple of years now. It hasn't had any dramas. Number 2 was lithium battery. I gave it a bit of a test out in regards to driving on the highway in the 41 degrees heat, and yep, no issues, as was guaranteed by ITECH World. So ITECH World there in Perth, in Burswood in fact, and yeah, so far so good. So I recommend, if you're looking for, if your AGMs are on their way out, or you're looking for a lithium battery, highly recommend them. As you know, I've got one under the bonnet. They also do a lithium cranking battery, so that's my next go-to once my main one does start to go. I've been extremely happy with it. I've got a shunt now, and I've got to install that shortly, so I'll let you know how that goes. And the other point was, I just happened to pick up my walls from Bully's four-wheel drive in Toowoomba there, and yeah, perfect complement to the BUSHWAKKA 270 awning. So guys, any of those things, if you've got any comments, got any questions, make sure you drop us a comment underneath, and let me know if you've got a Prado, and if these videos that I'm doing like this is helping you out looking after your Prado. So see you guys on the next one. Prado 150 out of here.